I'm doing this video because it seems a lot of people can't view my IGTV video that I saved from the live. I have no idea why, but obviously I've got people asking me what I did and if I can do it again or another live, so I thought I would make a few videos just to break it down into sections so they're not all really long. So firstly, I'm going to start off with the blend that I did the other night, which is like this. So I'm going to show you 3 different ways, using kind of the same technique, but just 3 different looks with the same gels. So if I was doing a client, I would base coat. I would cover the client's nails with a cuticle guard. So it's just like a latex cuticle guard that you can peel off after so that you don't get obviously all the gel on the fingers. You don't have to, but obviously it's going to take a long time when you're doing each one to then wipe round the nail and get everything off. So it just works out easier for me. Okay, so I've already got the colours on my sponge because I'm reusing a sponge because I'm running out. Obviously, start a new sponge for your clients. Now, if you've got something sticky like this, is just like a lint roller, you can see it. You can get paper ones like this or sellotape or anything like that, and just go over sort of the sides of your sponge just to take off any bits of fluff or debris that might be stuck in your sponge, because you don't want that going. And you can just, like any time throughout the treatment, you can do that just to make sure that your sponge is nice and clean. Right, so I'm gonna go on first onto a clear pop. So I find working on a clear pop, it will make it more pastel-y kind of looking. It depends on what kind of look you're going for. Like I say, I'm gonna show you 3 different ways and you can see. So the colours that I'm using today are by the Pro Gel. So we've got the top colour, which is Fire. It's a lovely bright sort of corally, orangey, reddyish colour. Then we've got Anne, which again is a really pretty coral for the summer. And then I'm using Lemon, which is a nice bright yellow. So I'm just layering that onto my sponge. I'm not putting loads and loads on because my sponge is already soaked up quite a bit from the previous time that I've used it. You might need to put a bit more on to start with when you first use a sponge. The kind of sponges I'm using, as you can see, they're quite grainy. So they're not like the really soft makeup sponges that you can buy from Superdrug. They are from eBay and it says nail sponges on them, but if anyone needs the link, just message me and I will send it to you. Okay, so get your pop, and I'm going to hold the sponge parallel over the nail, so we're going straight on and we're just going to do like a big splodge on. So you do need to hold your pop, obviously try and wear gloves because you're going to get product on your fingers. Right, so you can see that's a big kind of gloopy mess. That kind of smudging comes when you've got too much product on. So this is fine for our first smudge because we're going to blend it. But if you're finding that your nails look like this when you're trying to blend, it's because you've got too much product on and you haven't blended enough. So you just need to keep going with the blending, or splodge a bit of the product off on some towel from your sponge and then try again. So what we're aiming for now is we're just going to keep going up and down the nail. We're aiming for a seamless blend. So it's going to look quite jelly-like and a bit see-through. We're going to work up and down, side to side, up and down until we haven't got any big splodges and we haven't got any lines. So I'm going to do a bit of a lighter touch just to blend it out a little bit more. So that amount of splodginess is absolutely fine. Those little stipples will cover and they'll look better with each layer that you do. I'm just going to wipe around the top. If you want to save your pot for people to look at, obviously just tidy that up. No acetone, otherwise it's going to melt. Okay, so that one's going in. So when you're doing the curing process, what I would do is work on one hand on your client, then get them to put that hand in, then work on the other hand. And as soon as you finish the other hand, you want to grab the other one back out of the lamp. So you don't need to leave it in for 60 seconds because it's such a thin layer. Right, I'm going to show you this one, which is over a white. So this should bring the colour out, make it pop a little bit more. So we're going to do exactly the same, but I'm not applying any more product onto this because there's quite a lot on already. And then if I do need to add a bit more, I will, and you'll know if you do. So just from the start, just try not to overload your brush because it's better to have less on and get a better blend and do more layers than it is just to try and bulk it on in 2 layers because you'll end up with like a sloppy mess. Can you see how much more that picks up over the white? So again, we're going up and we're going down, and that's going to give us a nice seamless blend. So if you're working and you see any line anywhere that's a full line, you've got to carry on blending because you will see that through the layers. So each layer just needs to be really blended out. So I'm just cocking my sponge a little bit there to pick up a little bit more yellow on the bottom, and then just slightly dabbing that in. So again, that amount of bubbles, well, it's not bubbles, they're like stipples, that's absolutely fine. If they're a bit blobbier than that or a bit smudgy, you need to blend more and take some product off. Okay, so that one's going to go in. And then lastly, we're going to do on a clear pop again, the same colours, but I'm going to sandwich a layer of acrylic in between. So if you're on the Pro Gel Tech group, you'll already have seen this. I think, have we got a video on there? I'm not sure if we've got a video, but Dawn Stevens, who's on the Pro Gel group, is absolutely amazing at Ombré. And she told us all this way of doing it, which I'd never heard of before. So thank you, Dawn. Her page is amazing, by the way. Go follow. Right, so again, I'm not loading my brush up. I'm just going to tap off what I've got on and see where we're at. So I don't tend to add more on when I'm doing one hand. I will use the sponge. I'll dab off each finger straight away. So what I mean is, I'll go to each finger and I'll do blob, 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 blob when I first apply it, and then I'll go back through and sponge them, and then they go in. And I won't apply any more product until the second time, just because you really want to get that nice seamless blend. And the reason why you wouldn't get it is if, like I say, you've got too much product on your brush, on your sponge even. I'm not editing this video, so it is what it is, ladies. I think it's nice sometimes, I do some IGTV videos, which are nice, but they don't kind of talk you through step by step. So I thought, I'll come on and I'll talk you through. Pretend it's alive without an audience. Right, so I'm going to use some acrylic now. So normally what Dawn uses is clear acrylic, but I have only got this sort of oyster opaly shimmer acrylic, so I'm going to use that. If you were in salon, what I would do is have one of the, you know, the little white trays to catch, and I would tip either with a pot or I'd use a scoop, but my scoop's at the salon. So what I'm going to do is just dip in, obviously, because it's not a real person's hand. So don't do this at home or at work, especially now with the COVID situation. Right, so I'm just going to tap off the excess. If it was my client's finger, I'll just gently tap off like that. but you don't want to be brushing any excess off because it's a wet layer underneath and you're going to pull some of that off. Okay, so that's going to go in. Right, and we're going to bring out that very first clear one again. I'm going to do another layer. So what I found with ombre is you're better off using colours that have got the same consistency. So if you're trying to blend a colour, I'm just going to add a little bit. So I'm not going to add any more of that top colour because that's quite vivid, but I'm just going to add a little bit more of Anne and Lemon. If you're trying to do it with, say, a white and then quite a sheer pink, it's not going to work unless you've done a couple of coats of the sheer pink first, because the pink's so sheer and the white's quite vivid, or it's got quite a good coverage on it, you're just not going to get a very good blend. So you need to pick colours that work well together, that are kind of the same consistency. So these Pro Gel ones are really creamy and thick, which is amazing. I was saying the other day, like, I'm not just saying it because I'm a brand ambassador, but these genuinely are the best gels I've used to do ombre with. Right, so I'm going to go over again. So nice parallel splodge. These remind me of jelly. And gently working it up, down, side to side. And again, don't worry about it being a little bit see-through, that's absolutely fine. You will just build it up till you're happy. Okay, right, I'm not going to worry about cleaning over my sticks. I'm just going to pop them in. Just save a bit of time for us. Okay, so you can see the difference already with that having the white underneath. It's covered a lot more and the colours are a lot brighter. I'm going to go on again. So if you put a white layer underneath, you will find you don't need to do as many coats as what you would on the clear one. So when I'm sponging on, I am using like the whole of the sponge. I've got my fingers either side and I'm pressing on with force so that the sides kind of bend round a little bit. And then if I need to touch a little bit more off on the bottom, I kind of cock my sponge just a little bit like that and just grab a bit of the bottom colour on there. So again, keep going till you're happy. Sometimes you can overwork it and you can take a lot of the product back off. So you've got to know when to stop. So I'm going to stop that one there. That one's going to go in. And then we're going to get the acrylic one out. So here's when you're going to notice a bit more of a difference. Now everyone who's tried this has said it's a complete game changer. So let's show you. Again, I've not put any more product on this yet. I'll just blob a sponge a blob on even. So with acrylic on this method, what it does is it grabs hold of your colour, so it makes it more intense. Almost like it sucks the colour into the acrylic. That's how I would describe it. And again, you're going up and down, exactly the same. What I find with it as well is it gives it a really nice texture, especially if you matte it. Now obviously, like I say, mine's got glitter in. You don't have to have glitter in. It's better if you just use clear, because obviously you're just getting that full ombre without anything else. But it is nice. It's quite pretty. You can use it for sugaring as well over the top of the nail. Okay, so you can see how different that is again. to the other ones. So I'm gonna, again, just give that a little dip into the acrylic. Again, obviously, if that was a real person, do not dip their fingers in your acrylic. Okay, we're not going to brush it off at this stage, it's just going to go straight in. And then out comes the first one. So I'm going to dab on again. I might need to put a bit more product on, I'm not sure at this point. Yeah, we'll just pop a little bit more on. Make sure you're stretching across. I just tend to overlap the layers just very slightly. So come on to the other two colours. And then the yellow, I'll bring up a little bit. A good way to measure how far you want to go down the nail as well is just to hold your sponge next to the nail, just so that you can gauge sort of where you want to go, because obviously because you're coming up and down you need to have like a bit of extra space to come up and down with, so that's fine. Or you can paint it straight onto the nail and then brush your sponge over so that you know where it's come down to, but it's completely up to you. There's no right or wrong way with that. So I'm going to do a separate video for Baby Boomer, so pink and white ombre, and then I'm going to do a separate one with a side blend and another ombre, but just only using the gel bottle, the actual gel bottles, and not the sponge, if that makes sense. So I'm using the brush from the bottles. I think we've got a nice blend there. So obviously if we were doing that on a real person's nail, they're not completely see-through, so that would be absolutely fine. I'm not going to do any more coats on that at the moment because I like it, and I think when we've top coated it, it's going to be lovely. Oh, the light keeps changing what it looks like. But yeah, so I'm going to pop that in. And then we're going to bring out the white one. Oh, sorry, I keep hugging the camera. Oh, got one of my eyelashes stuck on there. Oopsies. Not my actual eyelashes, the one that I've been doing. So there's no limit to how much you can blend. Just keep going till you feel like it looks right. If it doesn't look right, like I say, you've either got too much on your sponge or you haven't blended it out enough. Okay, and again, that amount of little stippliness is absolutely fine. Alright, so I'm going to pop that in. And I'm just going to brush that excess away. So pretty. So if you sugared it, that's what it would look like at the end, but you would need to set that acrylic in at a top coat, I think I'm right in saying. Okay, so I'm going to add this on again. just soaks it right up. I think there's so many nail techs that have been using this way. I had no idea it even existed. I think it's nice to share, because I've only learnt through people who've shared things with me, so I like to pass that on. Beautiful. See that lovely light effect it puts on there? Beaut. Right, so that's going back in. And I'll matte top coat this one, the first one. And I can put them all together so they've all had the same amount of coats, and then you know what they look like together. So this is, again, the Pro Gel matte top coat, or matty matte matte as we like to call it. It is literally the most matte, like a chalky matte top coat rather than more of a satiny one that you get from a lot of companies. So nice. And then we're going to do the other one in just the Pro Gel shiny top coat. And again, I can't honestly say enough good things about this brand. Like, the top coat is so shiny. It's amazing. Sorry if it sounds like I'm breathing really loud. I say this on all my videos. So yeah, if you're on the Pro Gel Tech page, I've got a few videos on there that are like this one that you can watch and hear me talking on. But most of my IGTVs, obviously, there's no talking on those. I am hopefully going to be doing a few lives as well. It's a bit difficult at the moment because there's so many good people doing like amazing lives, and they're throughout the night. So if you follow Nail Techs, you'll probably know that Alex does one at 6 o'clock. Honey Bunny Beauty has a slot at 7 o'clock, and the salon chat with Lavish Nails and Bella's Beauty Garage are on at 8 o'clock. So there's like an amazing array of free tutorials and information, and just getting everyone together and having a chat and figuring out different things. So it's well worth a watch if you don't already watch them. Right, let me just bring my acrylic one out. So I'll matte this one as well. Yeah, so it's kind of hard to know where to do one, so I'm not going to do a light every day, but I might do a couple in the daytime. So if anyone's got any requests, let me know. Make sure I get that little annoying bit around the top. So if it was shiny, that's what it would look like. Okay, that's the matte top coat. Okay, so let's bring number 1 out. See how pretty that looks. Gorgeous blend. It's got a tiny little bit of glittering, because obviously I use that same sponge. Beautiful. And these make really good bases, you know, if you want to practice your stamping or anything like that. So you can practice your ombre, and then you can practice drawing things over your ombre, so you get double use out of these pops. What I will say as well is that I'm running out of pops at the moment, so all these nails, I've like literally pulled the gel off. Oops, one of my hairs molting. But you can only really do it if you've done it with a shiny top coat, because if you've done it with a base coat, it doesn't pull off very well. So yeah, I've literally got the tweezers just come underneath this top bit here and just pulled, and it usually just comes off, pops off in one go, but only seems to do that with the shiny top coat. Okay, so here is the one that we did with white and the shiny top coat. So you see that like stubbliness, it kind of adds to the effect, but it's not massively visible, so it doesn't look out of place. That's really pretty. When I do the pink and white, I'll show you how to use toppers as well with them to add different effects, or if you feel like it's not gone quite right, how you can change it and add a little bit of something to mask it. And that is your Ombre acrylic brand. Let's bring them closer to the camera. So you see they all look slightly different, but they're all the same products and they're all using a sponge. Gorgeous. So if you give them a go, please tag me. I'd love to see them, and if you do the acrylic one, I'm sure Dawn would love to see him as well. So that's Dawn Stevens on Instagram. I think she's on Facebook as well. And if you are a Pro Gel user or you're interested in the products, we have got a tag page that you can request to join. Okay, so that's that for that one, and I'll see you on the next one.